There are 3 perfumes that I've been absolutely obsessed with lately, and I've realized that I think I'm obsessed with them because there's something about the sweetness of them, but also the coziness of them that I just find both really enjoyable to smell and comforting, and I've been wearing these 3 nonstop. So let me share what those 3 fragrances are. One of them I actually spoke about on this channel very, very recently, and the other 2 I've never mentioned on this channel before because they're newer. So let's get right into it. First up, we've got Fresh Cream from Philosophy. So this was not even on my radar, didn't know it existed. I like a lot of the Philosophy fragrances. I feel like they do a good job of almost not smelling like perfumes, but like very enjoyable skin musk type of fragrances, like the Amazing Philosophies and all of that. So this one was just sent to me as a sample or in PR. So I didn't even know that existed, but this is really lovely. We only have a few notes listed for this fragrance, which are Chantilly cream, jasmine, and vanilla. What does that actually smell like though to me? It smells sweet, but like a cream, not like a super sugary cookie where it's like an overdose, but like a smooth kind of soft cream. Then of course you get vanilla. The jasmine, I wouldn't have even known that it's there, but maybe the jasmine is what is giving it this feeling that takes it from being like overly sickly gourmand sweet to something that still feels wearable. Like the name Fresh Cream and Silk Cloud, or Fresh Cream Silk Cloud. I think they've done a good job of capturing that because the jasmine does elevate it a bit. This has been one of my favorite wearing around the house type of fragrances post shower because it smells to me clean, but in like a sweet, cozy, fluffy cloud cream vanilla dessert, but not overly desserty kind of way. Lovely. In terms of projection and longevity, I would consider this to be moderate. I get about 6 hours of wear, which for home I think is perfect. Believe it or not, I actually haven't even worn this outside the house yet. I've just been obsessively wearing it at home. So yeah, that's been one of my latest finds. On the bottle, it actually says, find comfort in the softness of silky clouds, and I really think that they nailed it. What they went out to accomplish with this fragrance, they nailed. It's comforting, but it feels smooth. It's not overly gourmandy, even though it technically really is. Big fan of this. If you like Philosophy fragrances, highly recommend getting your nose on Fresh Cream Silk Cloud. Next up is one that I literally just spoke about yesterday. I love this fragrance so much. Probably one of my favorite designer fragrances at the moment. I'm talking about the Givenchy Irresistible Nectar. What a damn good fragrance, Givenchy. So I think the reason why I really like this is because it manages to kind of nail a perfect trio blend of feeling clean to me and like a little bit of like a floral soapy way, I think from the Neroli, but it also is the most delicious gourmandy take on the Givenchy DNA. You have pistachio, you have vanilla, but to me it smells like, for whatever reason, a macaroon, a crumbled up macaroon topping that is combining with the light, sweet, glazed floral petals in the fragrance. So it's clean, but it also has warmth to it because of the gourmand. You can wear it outside the house and still feel like you are being put together, but it's just so inviting. Yesterday, I put just 2 spritz on my arm, like bam, bam. And I wore them to bed, not even thinking my husband was gonna even notice, because sometimes he doesn't even mention anything because he's so used to living in a perpetual perfume cloud at this point. And he was like, "You're so funny, you're wearing perfume to bed?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "That's a very interesting smell. It's like it's sweet, but is it also a little bit floral?" And I said, "That's exactly what it is." So in terms of projection and longevity, I also think it performs very, very well. It's not one that I have to overspray for someone to smell it. And he said himself, and I just found it interesting that he said it's very unique because he smelled a lot of my perfumes at this point. So for designer fragrance to smell good and be unique, I always think is like a miracle. So big fan of this. For sure, my favorite out of the entire Givenchy Irresistible line. They do have these at Ulta's. If you can get your nose on one, I'd highly recommend doing so. If you are, not comfortable with blind buying, if it sounds like it might be up your alley, they're accessible in stores to test out. But yeah, fantastic smell. And then last but certainly not least is a fragrance that is not new. Like, it's not like it came out last year. I think it actually came out in the earlier 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. And this one is from Ellis Brooklyn. Now, I always say that Vanilla Salt is my favorite Ellis Brooklyn scent. This is my second favorite. Now, keep in mind, I have not yet smelled Vanilla Rice. And Vanilla Rice sounds like it would be my perfect scent. So once that comes in, who knows what will happen. But as of right now, with the Ellis Brooklyn fragrances that I have, this is my second all-time favorite scent. It is so good. This is called Sweet. Now, when I first got this, I thought that, because this was a PR sending situation, I never even would have thought to buy Sweet, because just labeled Sweet, I thought, oh, this is gonna be overly sickly sweet. It's gonna be like crazy, I don't know, berries and sugar and just too much for me. So I never even looked at the notes to even know what the hell this fragrance is. And I don't hear people talk about it to even check it out. But this is not just an overly sweet fragrance. This is technically a marshmallow scent. You do have marshmallow in the base, but you have this beautiful opening. Pear and ambrette are like my favorite fragrances or some of my favorite notes in fragrances in an opening because it gives to me just the perfect like skin clean, musky smell. I love the smell of amber and pear. You also find those notes in Another 13 from Le Labo. You know how much I love that one. So you get the pear and amber, you get some light florals in here as well. And then you get this delicious marshmallow amber cashmere type of base. So it's a little bit smooth, but it's also clean and a little bit fruity in the opening, but it is also sweet. But it's just, to me, it smells very clean sweet, and I am obsessed. Perfect year round, but even better, I think, in hot weather like we are in right now. If you like fragrances like Bal d'Afrique Absolute, Kayali Musk 12, Ishal Musk, anything in that realm of like Another 13 from Le Labo, anything with pear, amber that is sweet but is still clean, I really think you gotta try sweet. I really don't let the name scare you like it scared me. Such a good smell. Ellis Brooklyn did a damn good job with this one. It's a little bit sweeter than those other ones because of the marshmallow, but to me, this is also not your typical marshmallow perfume. I didn't even realize that there was marshmallow in here until I looked at the notes. It doesn't smell anything like Young Bougie. It doesn't smell anything like any of the other marshmallow perfumes. I really think it's the muskiness that kind of takes over, but the marshmallow is what is adding that slight additional sweetness, but then the cashmeron and the amber help to round it out and make it feel smooth. So it's fantastic. These three are in heavy rotation in my household right now. If you like sweet, cozy, a little bit clean smelling fragrances, I highly recommend checking these out. Let me know what are some of your favorite cozy sweet fragrances, or maybe some of the fragrances that you are currently obsessed with at the current moment. And I will see you guys back tomorrow for our next episode.